This is in continuity with my MCQ videos on surface area volume class 9th. This is the third one. Right. What does the question says here in the next part? It says the circumference of the base of a cone, like base, the circumference of the base of a 9-meter high conical tent is 44 meter. We have to get the volume of this cone. So for that, what we are going to do, let's say if I draw a cone, the diagram is not required, as I always say. What do we know here is the circumference of the base of the cone. So the circumference of the base of the cone, as you know, it is in the shape of a circle. So we know this value, right? We know this circumference, as you can see that the circumference of a base of a cone is in the shape of a circle. So clearly we know the circumference, that is circumference will be 2 pi r and its value is given as 44. This is what we know. Further, we also know the height of the cone. The height of the cone is mentioned as, this is the height of the cone, and the height of the cone is mentioned here as 9 meters. So I can say that h is equal to, from here, that is h is equal to 9 meter. And what we have to find out is the volume. As you must be knowing, the volume of a cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h. So we already know the height, and we are going to get the radius from here. Now I'm going to replace here pi with 22 over 7 and let r be r only is equal to 44. On transposing the values to the right, this will be 7 multiplied and 2 into 22 divided. This is 44. 44 get cancelled. So we got the radius as 7 centimeter. Now in the next part, we are simply going to plug in the values of pi, which is 22 over 7 here, and the r, which we just calculated as 7. So it's 7 into 7, as it is r square. That multiplied by h, and the value of h is mentioned in the question as 9. So on reducing, this get cancelled with this 3 times. So finally, we get this as 22 into 21. 21 into 2 is 42. So this is 462 centimeter. Sorry, it's meter, right? Meter cube. So this D is the correct answer for this. In the next question, it says to make a closed hollow cone of base radius 7 centimeter and height as 25 centimeter, the area of sheet required. So obviously it's a hollow cone, so we'll not be calculating the area of the base. And that means we are looking for the curved surface area. The metal sheet here used is only on the curved surface area, as it is a hollow cone. So we are going to get its curved surface area, and the formula for calculating the curved surface area is pi RL for cone. Now, this is curved surface area, so you may write that is CSA of cone is equal to pi RL. Now check here, we know the radius of this, which is given as 7 centimeter. Well, we know its a height. Need to be careful that the height is not the slant height. If they simply say height, by that they mean to say the vertical height here. And the vertical height, which is according to this question, is 24. Now, needless to say that we need to get L, and we have a relation between L, R, and H, which is L square is equal to R square plus H square. L square R is 7, so 7 square plus H, which is 24 square. L square R square is 7 square is 49, and 24 square is 576. So L square we get as 676, sorry, 625 here. And you must be knowing that it is a square of 25. So L we got as 25. So this is in centimeters. So this is 25 centimeter. Now we are simply going to plug in the values of pi in order to get the CSA pi, which is 22 over 7, the radius, which is mentioned at 7, and L we calculated as 25. 7 and 7 get cancelled. So it will come as 550 centimeter square, as it is an area. So A is the correct answer for this. In the next part, it says that if the volume of a sphere is 4851 centimeter cube, then the surface area So that means what we know here is the volume of a sphere, and the for sphere, as you must be knowing its shape. So this is a sphere here, and this should be taken as its radius. This is sphere here, and this is its radius. Right. So what do we know here is the radius. Sorry, the volume. So volume is given as 4851, and what we have to calculate is its surface area, and the surface area is 4 pi r square. That is we have only one surface area, not as curve or total surface area of a sphere. So for that, we need r here. So what we are going to do is to replace this v with the formula of a volume of a cone, which is 4 by 3 pi r cube is equal to 4851. In the next part, we are simply going to replace pi with its value as 22 upon 7, if not mentioned, which is this is what we take. And if I transpose this, this is 4851, that multiplied by 3 into 7 and divided by 4 into 22. I can see that these numbers are divisible by 11. So I'll first divide by 11. If you know the divisibility rule of 11, you'll be able to figure out. This is 4 times 45, again 4 times and 1 times. Now what I can see that we have to get a perfect cube. So do not end up multiplying this. We have to split them so as to get a cube of it, and do not multiply, because this will make the sum very complicated, and then you have to find the cube root. You should know that 441 is 21 square. So I can write this as 21 into 21. As I need a triplet, we are interested in finding the cube of this number. So that's the reason I'm rearranging them like this. And I club 3 and into 7 as 21. Further, I can see that we can get a perfect cube below also in the denominator. So this implies that r is equal to cube root of this, or you may write one more step showing that this is 21 over 2 cube. So that means r is equal to 21 over 2. So once we get the radius, now simply we can place the value of the radius 4 into 22 over 7, and that multiplied by 21 by 2 into 21 by 2. Now what we can see here, that here 2 into 2 is 4, this get cancelled, 7 1 times, 7 3 times. So finally the surface area will come as, this is 21, that is 22 multiplied by 63. So 6 plus, that is, this is 63 into 2 will give you 126, 126 into 11, that comes out to be 1386 centimeter cube. Yes, we have an option here. Sorry, it's a square, right? It's an area. So this is the correct option for this answer. In the next part, what we are given here, that we have a hemispherical bowl. As you can see, I've drawn the diagram already. It's made up of a steel, which is 0.25 centimeter thick. If the inner radius is 3.25 centimeter, then the outer curved surface area of the bowl. So look into the figure, and what do we know already here is this thickness, right? This is the thickness, and this is given as how much? 0.25 centimeter. Let's say if I say that the inner radius, I'm representing inner radius. This is the inner radius. As you can see, this is the inner radius, and this will be the outer radius. So if I talk about the inner radius, we have the inner radius, that is r, given as 3.25 centimeter. Now, as you must be knowing that if we add the thickness to the inner radius, whatever the thickness, say I use d for here, then we'll get 3.25 plus the inner radius plus the width should give you the outer radius, and it will come as 3.50 centimeter. So it is important to remember this relation, that is inner radius plus the width or the thickness will give you the outer radius. Now, what do we have to find out is the curved surface area of the outer. So the outer curved surface area indicating this part, right? Only this part. So for that, we need the outer radius. So what we are going to do is to simply apply the formula of curved surface area. right? It's mentioned outer curved surface area. So for this, it is 2 pi r square. Now r we must take as capital R here because it is representing the outer radius. So now replace pi with 22 upon 7 and the r, which is 3.5. I can write this r 3.50 as 7 over 2. That makes the calculation easy. So I'll be writing 7 over 2 and 7 over 2. This gets reduced to 1 time, to 11 time. So it comes out to be 77 centimeter square. So it is A is the correct option for this.